Hello! So let's talk about email salutations. Are greetings and salutations redundant in an email? This is a common question that people actually have because they think, well, isn't it obvious that because I'm emailing you and I've chosen to email you, that you should know that you are the correct recipient of the email, and so I don't need to address it to you. Well, when we write a letter, usually you have an address on the outside and you open up the letter and it says, "Dear so-and-so." That greeting and the salutation, the way we address you, the first few lines are actually very important as far as establishing tone of the message and relationship between us. While in many cases, when a message is sent to everyone in an organization, there won't be a specific greeting or salutation. I personally believe, and I think most people believe, that greeting and salutation remains important because it is part of not only politeness, but establishing the context for what we are doing. It is a natural way to begin, and as you know, sometimes messages are misdirected. People receive email who are inadvertently included. And so frequently when you get an email, if there is no salutation, you will wonder, well, does this pertain to me? Why did I get this? Am I supposed to do this? That leads to an awful lot of messages. So if an entire listserv receives something and it doesn't seem designed for them, as happened to me lately, I might see 20 or 25 messages in response to that email where people say, why did I get this? Whereas if it had been specifically directed to a particular person, then we would all know, oh, I inadvertently received this. This is not for me. There's a mistake. So, what are the rules for salutations? Well, you have to decide whether they're formal or informal. Formal is relatively easy. Use dear. And capitalize appropriately. Use people's last names, give them their titles. If they earned a doctorate, they are doctor. If you are sending to a hiring manager, capitalize these words the way you would book titles and whatnot. So capitalize appropriately in your salutation, and use that for an email. Use the comma. If you're sending a letter, then for a formal letter you would use a colon, but for an email you'll use the comma. For an informal salutation, you might use a form of direct address, but what you don't do is use something from the formal side where you use someone's you use Mr. or Doctor and then their first name. Don't do that. Please don't. That is not funny. That's do not use Mr. or Mrs. with the first name. Don't use Doctor with the first name. Dr. Jim. Now, what is this? This is direct address. So some of you might wonder about that comma. Well, take a look at it in context. When I am telling a particular person something, get some rest, Mohammed, that is, the direct address separates the name from the message. So hello, in this case, is typically given the comma. Glad to help, Martha. So here are some more examples. No problem, Ian. It's been great to work with you, Abigail. Or you could switch it around. Abigail, comma, it's been great to work with you. Direct address is when you want to get someone's attention by using their name, and then you give the message. Now, that comma is correct for our purposes. I expect to see it on your emails. Whereas dear does not require the comma. In this course, these are what is correct. Now, in the workplace, you might see these without the comma. Don't tell them that they're wrong, because be aware that language and punctuation norms can change over time. So, in the next 10 or 15 years, hello, comma, Jessica, which, should use direct address, hello may become a substitute for dear. In fact, in Europe, it frequently is substituting for dear. And the use of computers and texting have actually accelerated language and punctuation norm changes. So you can expect to see more change in the next 10 or 15 years, and that's acceptable. Now I'm going to give you a little teaser. We've done salutation. What happens in the body of an email? Well, in business writing, I would expect you to keep your paragraphs at 8 lines or shorter whenever possible, and you should improve skimming. So no, you are not writing the great American novel here, and if you do, you are failing. No one wants to read the great American novel in your email. They want to read something quickly, and preferably something they don't have to read that much. They want to skim and find the important information. So organize and arrange and format so that people can find the important information as easily and quickly as possible with as few errors in understanding, in communicating. That's your goal. All right, hope you've had fun, if possible, with our salutation talk, and have a good day.